Hey, Royal Rough Riders. This is Mademoiselle Mosley again. I hope everybody is doing fine tonight. Let's get into it. Let's do it. I've come up with a mindset about people because none of us are perfect. So, what I do, and I use this as a theoretical view, eat the meat and leave the fat. You know, some meat got a lot of fat on it, got a piece of fat on it that you don't want to eat. Now, some people like the fat. If you like the fat, eat that too. But eat the meat and leave the fat means take the good part of the person and leave the rest. If you just have to deal with that person, and I'm not talking about a toxic environment, I'm not talking about, oh, the person's nice to you, but they put their hands on you, back and forth, or whatever the case may be. I'm not talking about to that level. I am talking about a person that has its good parts as well as its bad parts. But the bad parts are not bad enough to throw the whole piece of meat in the trash. So eat the meat and leave the fat. Take the good part of the person and leave it at that. Because if you threw away everybody that have fat, now some people need to be discarded however you choose to live your life. But if you threw away a person just because they didn't have enough meat and had too much fat, baby, you probably wouldn't around nobody. And I understand that too. It's all up to you. And a lot of people, they always get mad at rich people. Ooh, they got this, so they ain't got no problems. That's a lie. That is a lie. They have problems too. They have a lot of suffrage as well. It just might not be, or it could be the same suffrage as you have as well. It's just that a lot of people have covered up with things. And they're not really happy with those things, and some of them are, but they're covering up with things. That's why most of the rich, they use their energy of suffrage to build their life. That's why sometimes you can see a tall, beautiful building that they built, but the foundation is cracked. And we all, if not most, come from cracked foundations, the beginning of our lives, the lack of understanding of our lives. Because the reason why we do that is because at the foundational aspect of our lives, a lot of us didn't know who we are. And when I say who you are, I'm not talking about your name. I'm not talking about your financial background. I am not talking about your birth date, your social security number. Who you are has nothing to do with all of those things that I just named. Who you are is the inner aspect of you that nobody knows but you. Nobody but you. And if you want to change that, nobody can change that but you. That's why we shouldn't think that everyone who is successful is healed. Everybody that's successful is not healed. See, you can still get a breakthrough and be broken. Just because they know how to build. But if you use, the thing about it is people think they're healed just because they know how to build. Building something does not mean you're healed. You could build a business and still not deal with the inner business of your life. It can be a successful business too. Because oftentimes we hide behind success because we don't want to heal the rest. We don't want to go inside and we say it happened in the past. Yes, it happened to the past, in the past, but if you don't heal the past, you constantly thinking about it in the present, and the thought of it will be in your future. You have to heal from all that you have gone through so that your success is real. See, the success that you've done is real to people in the tangible aspect. But personally, you might be having a lot of conflict at home because you're conflicted about yourself and you're trying to prove your worth to everybody else, but you feel worthless to yourself. That's why it's so important to do the inner healing. But if you use the negative energy, you can create positivity. You can create positivity from a negative energy as long as it's real. Because we can have fake positive. We can have fake positive results. Because what we're showing the people is positive. But we actually know within ourselves that it's fake. Because we just want people to view us in a certain light, even though we're living in the darkness. But if you use the negative energy, like I said earlier, you can create positivity as long as it's real. Because a crack in the foundation can shift an entire nation. That crack in that foundation can shift an entire nation. It's your life, your children's lives, your grandchildren's life, your great-great-children's lives. All these people whom are coming up under you, you have to heal so you don't pass it on through. So I hope that helped y'all. Like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, get it before it gets you. I'm out.